Hey everybody, today we're talking about the perfect or ideal disc profile for buyer agent hunters. Check out the previous video where we talked about the fact that there are two different types of buyer agent personalities out there. Those that have an ISA, those that are being fed qualified leads and they're basically just taking them and running with them. And those that still deal with buyers but are having to get their own business for the majority of it. There's not an ISA or there's not a lot of leads coming in. This is the buyer hunter personality. The helper we talked about in the previous video, here the difference is it has to be a higher D. So that D, I, S, and C model in the disc we talked about, problems, people, pace, procedures. The D has to be higher in the buyer hunter. So it's a DI. It's not a super D like a listing agent. You can watch the listing agent videos here in as well, but it's somewhere north of 50. So it's in the 60 to 70 range. That I is also very high. And then the S drops down into the 40, 50 range, and the C is normally in the 40 range. That makes for a much better prospector. Okay. The S stays up in the 40 or 50 range because they're still needing the stability that it takes to handle the patience of saying, I'll be glad to show you 10 or 15 houses, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. But because they don't have anybody feeding them leads, you have to see that D go up. The problems, the decisiveness, the assertiveness, the action orientation, all supported by that higher D. Now, it doesn't go as high as the listing agent because it's too high and the S usually goes down, and that causes them to have problems with not wanting to show more than 3 or 4 houses. They want to play HGTV. Here's 3, pick 1, I'm done. When you find the hunter agent, it's a little bit harder to do first off, because like I said in the buyer agent helper video, the majority, this is anecdotal, but we would guess probably 70% of the agents we run into out there licensed today look more like the buyer agent helper, a little more like a showing agent, very proficient at taking it and going with the person once they're on paper, but getting them there is very difficult for them. So this hunter buyer agent, if you have a shop, you don't have ISAs, you're wanting to give them some overflow leads, but they still have to go out and in their sphere of influence, hunt and bring in the majority. They're still on there 2 hours a day, dialing for dollars. They're still prospecting and networking. That's the profile you need. Now, click on the link in the description below. We'll send you our free report on the 9 ideal disc profiles for your real estate team. So click on the link, check out the rest of the videos herein.